Welcome to today's lecture on managing the first stage of labor. We will explore definitions, stages, monitoring techniques, and management strategies to ensure positive outcomes for both mother and baby. Labor is characterized by regular uterine contractions that lead to cervical change. Understanding this definition is crucial for recognizing when a patient is truly in active labor, which is vital for appropriate management. Labor is divided into 4 stages. The first stage includes both latent and active phases of labor where contractions lead to cervical effacement and dilation. Once the cervix is fully dilated, the second stage of labor begins and ends with the delivery of the baby. The third stage of labor encompasses the delivery of the placenta, and the fourth stage of labor is the first 4 hours of postpartum time. Recognizing which phase of labor a patient is in helps guide management decisions effectively. During the latent phase, patients may experience mild contractions that can last several hours or even more than 24 hours. In contrast, during the active phase, contractions are stronger and regular, indicating that labor is progressing effectively. Friedman's curve of labor represents the typical pattern of labor progression. It divides labor into 2 main phases. The latent phase, where cervical dilation is slow, and the active phase, where dilation progresses more rapidly from 4 to 10 centimeters. This curve was historically used to guide labor management, with interventions like oxytocin or cesarean delivery introduced if labor slowed or stalled. This is called labor dystocia. However, modern research shows that labor often progresses more slowly than Friedman's original observations. Current guidelines, such as those from ACOG and WHO, now emphasize individualized assessment and discourage unnecessary interventions, focusing instead on the well-being of the mother and baby. We'll now discuss a case study. You are assessing a 22-year-old G.1 at 39 weeks gestational age. She is having mild contractions every 5 minutes that last 20 seconds. She is otherwise healthy with no significant medical history. What stage of labor is she presenting in? It is hard to tell the stage of labor exactly without assessing cervical dilation, but she is likely in the latent phase of labor given mild or regular contractions. You should also always assess maternal vitals, fetal heart rate, and cervical dilation to confirm latent labor and rule out complications. During labor, a thorough physical examination is vital. You must assess maternal vitals including blood pressure, heart rate, temperature and saturations. Next, you want to complete an abdominal exam with Leopold's maneuvers to assess fetal lie and presentation. You then have to complete a vaginal exam to assess the cervix for dilation, effacement and fetal station. The partogram is an essential tool in labor management. It allows healthcare providers to visualize labor progress and make informed decisions based on established criteria for normal labor progression. The partogram tracks labor progress and well-being. It has sections for cervical dilation and fetal descent which are marked by alert and action lines to identify delays in labor progress. Fetal monitoring includes heart rate and amniotic fluid status which are also noted on the partogram. Maternal monitoring noted on the partogram includes vital signs and contractions. Use of the partogram guides timely interventions for safe labor and delivery. The partogram consists of 3 zones: the green zone, alert zone and the action zone. The green zone indicates normal progress in labor. In this zone it is important to provide support, encourage ambulation, and ensure hydration while regularly evaluating maternal and fetal well-being. The alert zone signals potential concerns in labor progress or maternal or fetal well-being. Clinicians should evaluate contraction patterns closely and consider interventions if labor progress is stalling or there are fetal or maternal concerns that require expedited labor progress. The action zone indicates a need for urgent action if there is no cervical change despite adequate contractions. You should be preparing for possible patient transfer or surgical intervention. Let's return to our case study of the 22-year-old Primap at 39 weeks gestational age who presents with mild contractions every 5 minutes for the last 3 hours. What would you do next for the evaluation of this patient? A thorough physical examination is crucial in assessing labor progress. Vital signs provide information about maternal stability, while abdominal and cervical examinations help determine fetal position and cervical changes effectively. You examine the patient and her to be vitally stable, and fetal heart rate monitoring demonstrates a normal fetal heart rate. Abdominal exam demonstrates a vertex fetus at -1 station, and cervical exam demonstrates that the patient is 2 cm dilated and 50% effaced. In this case, we have initial findings indicating early labor. With early labor in a Primap, the best option is for expectant management, given that exam findings demonstrated a vitally stable mother and a normal fetal assessment. Expectant management involves educating the patient on signs of active labor and discussing monitoring of the fetus and maternal condition until active labor develops. Once the patient enters the active phase of labor, admission for continuous monitoring becomes essential, and partogram documentation should begin. In active labor, you must monitor the maternal vitals approximately every 2 to 4 hours if everything is progressing well. Fetal heart rate can be monitored with continuous external fetal monitoring or intermittent auscultation. Cervical dilation must also be continuously monitored every 2 to 4 hours. The active stage of labor should progress approximately 0.5 to 1 cm of cervical dilation per hour in a Primap and 1 cm or more per hour of cervical dilation in a Multip. Pain management options should be discussed with the patient to enhance comfort during labor effectively, such as an epidural or nitrous gas inhalation. Once the patient is admitted for active labor, close monitoring has begun. The normal progress of labor can be greatly affected by both maternal and fetal factors. One way to think of these critical factors is the 4 Ps. The 4 Ps include power, passenger, passage, and psych. Power refers to adequate uterine contractions that are necessary for cervical dilation. Passenger refers to the fetus and fetal position and presentation that can affect descent through the birth canal. Passage refers to the maternal pelvis. The size and shape of the pelvis can impact delivery. Lastly, psyche refers to the maternal emotional state, which can have a significant impact labor progression. Understanding these elements helps healthcare providers anticipate potential complications during labor and how to address them. Assessing contraction adequacy is vital during active labor management. Contractions should be occurring every 2 to 3 minutes and lasting 45 to 60 seconds. With adequate contractions, the cervix should dilate 2 or more centimeters in 4 hours. Meeting these criteria indicates that labor is progressing normally. Otherwise, further evaluation may be needed for potential interventions. Common complications during the first stage of labor include prolonged latent phases or failure to progress during the active phase of labor. These situations require careful monitoring and may necessitate interventions such as augmentation or cesarean delivery if progress stalls significantly. C-section is indicated in the case of labor dystocia, which is defined as no progress in 4 hours once in the active phase of labor or no progress in 2 hours during the second stage of labor. We will discuss the second stage of labor in more detail in another lecture. Emotional support plays a critical role during labor. If the patient feels well supported during her labor by either friends and family or the healthcare provider, there is good evidence labor progress better and patient need less pain management. By helping reduce anxiety levels in mothers, they are able to develop better coping mechanisms during painful contractions and feel more comfortable throughout the labor progress. Effective communication between healthcare providers, patients and their families fosters a supportive environment conducive to positive outcomes during childbirth. In summary, labor management should focus on systematic tracking of the labor progress using a partogram to ensuring maternal and fetal safety through timely intervention.